Hi, it's Richie Faulkner again from Judas Priest here at Guitar World, having another guitar party. And it's always interesting when I come down here because we start talking about our favourite players and, you know, favourite songs. And we have to analyse what those favourite players are doing, which we don't necessarily always do when we're playing them. You know, when you're playing in a club or a venue or an arena, whatever, you're just doing your thing. But when you actually sit down there and work out what these guys are actually doing under a microscope, it becomes even more fascinating. You know, the way they pick differently, the different phrases they use, different pickups they might use, different approaches, different bends and stuff like that. So it's really an education for me as well to actually analyze these players and the techniques that they used. And what turned me onto these players in the first place? What is it about Hendrix that made me sit up as a boy and say, what is that? You know, obviously I still don't quite know, but even then, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know it was a guitar. I didn't know it was a person playing it. I didn't know what it was. It was just a sound that I was attracted to. So when we come in and we start talking about people like Hendrix and analyzing what he does and do our best to sort of break down the techniques he was using, it really is fascinating for me as a fan and as a player, because you come across stuff that you hadn't really thought about before. One of the things that I remember vividly was the Monterey Pop Festival, and Hendrix came out in a pink feather boa and a jacket with eyes and stuff on it, and his afro and the headband and the strat and the sound of the whole thing. And he came out and he was sort of backlit, but it was the sound of the guitar. I'm getting chills thinking about it now. It was the whole spectacle of the man, sonically, visually, the whole thing. And when you try to break that down, are we taking a bit of the magic away? Maybe, but the magic, you can't take the magic away. Even when you break it down, the magic is still there. So he came out, and the type of vibe that he was doing was like a... that kind of thing, which is loose as anything. There's no, you know, there's no circular picking, there's no alternate picking going on there, all those phrases that we hear. It's pure electric blues, you know, just a... It's loose as hell. It's all over it's over the whole gamut of strings. There's no precision going on there, but it goes straight in your heart, you know what I mean? And that's what I took from it. And as a 7 or 8 year old boy, I wasn't thinking about alternate picking or how you're slightly off time there or your guitar's out of tune. It was straight into your soul, you know, and it's where it comes from. It was the pure feeling of what he was playing. Okay, so slowing it down and trying to break down exactly what was going on there. It's fast, it's intense, but, you know, breaking down what it is, it's a kind of, again, it's very loose. You could even make a song out of that, you know. So again, you can hear there's loose strings. There's an open A there. There's an octave on the A, and he's bending off of the eighth, which as a technique is fantastic. But contained in all that sort of looseness and intensity. So that's basically what was going on there. It sounds great slow as well. I think we should trademark that. That's a song there, sir. And again, on the same one, all precision and stuff went out the window when it came to the lead break. It was over bending. It was hanging on to. So it's what doesn't make any sort of logical sense whatsoever. But when you bend a note to, it says a lot more. It just tears your head off with angst and passion and all that sort of stuff. Again, I'm getting chills doing it because that's what that does to me anyway. I'm not saying it does to anyone else. But again, it's loose, it's visceral. I think it's coming from him. It's coming from a part of him and then straight out to us, and that's why we all picked up on it. So again, have a loose jam based around that sort of thing. And you can do it in any key as well. You can do it in B. Again, you know, so we're just coming up with stuff on the spur of the moment here, but you can see how that sort of stuff is such a loose, emotional type thing. There's no structure to it whatsoever. It's just what you're feeling at the time. And you can see why Hendrix was such a bomb going off that he was, you know, because all that stuff, and it comes from all the stuff that he was into. It came from the B.B. King, came from the Howlin' Wolf, the Chuck Berrys, all those sort of things wrapped up into this electric whirlwind that was Jimi Hendrix. And it still turns us all on to this day, musically.